Glory be to God. We are finally coming to the end of the prophetic word. The dream, the purpose of God. So the dream that Joseph had was not the actual purpose of God, but behind it there was something. So I encourage you. You may have received prophecies for years, but you must go through the process. You can't escape the process of God. And you must understand that when something dies, the purpose of God dies in your life, like Joseph's own. It will resurrect. But the principle of resurrection is that the thing that died does not resurrect in the same form. There's a new stature. There is a new form. There is redefinition of purpose. That's how prophecy works. So you have a lot of people, fathers, who have received prophecies, but they find their sons fulfilling those prophecies. And if you don't understand, you may abort the purposes of God. Because if you die to yourself, you give God the opportunity to work. And when he works on you and you are restored, your resurrection of that purpose will come in another form. Nothing resurrects the same. It comes back in another form. If you really want to have the power of the resurrection, you won't die and resurrect the same. That is why Jesus came up in a glorious body. That is why at the last day we shall receive a glorious body. Anything that if you plant corn, the thing that comes up is different. If you plant mango seed, it comes like fruits. So always there is something. When you receive a purpose of God, there is something behind it you may not see, but now you know. You need to handle prophecies carefully. Now let's look at Genesis chapter 48, verse 5. And now thy two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which this is Jacob speaking, the last days of Jacob. Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of Egypt, before I came unto thee in Egypt, they are mine, as Reuben and Simeon, they shall be mine. So now the guy goes into a foreign land, gets a wife, gets children. Jacob is now saying, these children are not my grandchildren, but my sons. You know, Joseph inherited the firstborn blessings because Reuben slept with his father's concubine. And automatically, you would expect that the firstborn right to go to Simeon, but it doesn't work like that. It must still go to a firstborn. And Joseph was a firstborn son of Rachel. And how you want to call it. So he was still a firstborn. So he inherited the firstborn. Now he thought by people just bowing to him, he was going to receive something. But there was something behind it. Now your two sons are mine. Verse 6. And thy issue, which thou begettest after them, shall be mine, and shall be called after the name of their brethren in their inheritance. So now as for me, when I came, I'm just jumping this around. He blessed the children. When he blessed the children, he swapped his hands. And I've spoken about that. It was because of the meaning of the names of the children that God has made me forget my father's house. And God didn't want to have that. And then I've been fruitful in the land of my suffering. Verse 15, and Jacob blessed Joseph and said, God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, the God which fed me all my life long unto this day, the angel which redeemed me from evil, bless the lads. Now he's blessing the children. He's blessing them. And the blessing that they receive, look at the verse 20. And he blessed them that day, saying, in thee shall Israel bless, saying, God make thee Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh. What the whole essence of the passage is that after people bowing to Joseph, he did not receive the inheritance. There's no tribe of Israel, or there was no tribe of Israel in the Bible called Joseph, but Ephraim and Manasseh inherited the land, the double portion. So Joseph indirectly inherited a double portion, but the sons were enjoying, and they enjoyed the double blessing, the land. So all I'm saying that you may receive prophecy, but there's the purpose of God. What purpose is it? Now, after receiving the brothers and forgiving them because of maturity, now Jacob must come and bless them, lay hands on Pharaoh, lay hands on the children, and declare the prophetic word from his loins before he died. What if Joseph had said, no, I won't forgive my brothers? So the purpose of God was beyond just his brothers bowing to him. But it was because after bowing, the father, the children all must come. Then there's reconciliation where we started from. When there's this reconciliation, then Jacob dies, and then the blessings will go to Ephraim and Manasseh, the children of Joseph. So he just received a bowing, enjoyed his life, but there was something God wanted to do beyond the prophetic word he received. Now I'm giving the final scripture. You see it in the book of Genesis, Psalm 77 verse 15. Psalm 77 verse 15. Very interesting piece of scripture. Very interesting piece of scripture. Psalm 77 verse the number 15. Thou hast with thy arm redeemed thy people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. You have redeemed your people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. How can the children of Israel now be called the sons of Jacob and Joseph? Now Joseph, by growing into maturity, has now attained the status of his father. So he's now on the same level of his father. That is why he called his brother my son. Because he has done what fathers do. He did what fathers do. Now he's being put on the same pedestal, same platform as Jacob, his father. This is his inheritance, his name. But the children will enjoy. And I'm saying that anyone who goes through this must recognize reconciliation, forgiveness. And the purposes of God goes beyond your prophetic word. Whether you want to travel outside, whether you marry, whether they say you buy a car, know that God has a purpose behind it, that they will inherit the land and your children will continue. This is Pastor Edemadon, and God bless you.